I'm Troy Beverly, and this is Pan-African News. Somalia. Turkey discovers 20 billion barrels of crude oil in Somali waters. The Turkish Petroleum Corporation has discovered 20 billion barrels of commercially viable crude oil in 2 of 3 blocks of Somali waters it is exploring in. Results from the 3rd block are expected by August 2025. Somalia has an estimated 6 billion cubic meters of natural gas and 30 billion barrels of offshore oil, which could make the country one of the 10 largest oil-producing nations in the world. Somalis hope the landmark discoveries will help the nation's military put a nail in the coffin of Qaeda-linked Al Shabab and the so-called Islamic State Somalia Province, while the government invests in the infrastructure, including hospitals, schools, and roads. Nonetheless, many Somalis are concerned about the secretive oil agreement signed in Istanbul, Turkey, by Turkish Energy Minister Alparslan Bayraktar and Somali Petroleum Minister Abdirizak Omar Mohamed on March 7, 2024. The agreement was not presented to the Somali Council of Ministers or the Somali Parliament by President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. According to the Eastleigh Voice, the details of the agreement came to the attention of the Somali public after being published by the Nordic Monitor. What undoubtedly concerned the Somali public most was the clause that gives Turkey 90% of offshore oil revenue and Somalia the remaining 10%. But former Deputy Director of the Somalia National Intelligence and Security Agency, Ismail Osman, claims in Modern Diplomacy that the 90-10 arrangement will only be in place until Turkey recovers its initial investment, after which Somalia will begin receiving 70% of the oil revenue and the Turkish Petroleum Corporation the remaining 30%. Another bone of contention among the Somali public is how Turkey can transfer its rights to third parties without Somalia's approval. Osman dismisses this argument out of hand, asserting that while Turkey can attract partners to finance or expand the project, Somalia retains control over the production sharing agreement, which merely grants Turkey the right to explore, develop, and produce oil in its area of operation. Finally, Osman asserts that Somalia has the right to cancel extensions of the oil agreement between Turkey and Somalia at will.